Hey, it's Dave from Choas Guitars. I'm going to try to do this one last time because I've been trying to shoot this video for I don't know how long now, and as soon as I get into my opinion on things, it goes south. I'm very passionate about these guitars, about overseas guitars, and very opinionated about it, evidently, because I can't seem to shoot a video in any timely fashion. I thought it was time to sit down, and I should have done this before we started the workhorse build, but let's do it now. Sit down and tell you what my stance is on overseas guitars and what my company's stance is on overseas guitars. Because as you know, I'm sure there's a lot of controversy between overseas guitars and American-made guitars, and there's tons of controversy over the overseas guitars that are labeled and copied to look like American-made guitars. So not talking about copies, just talking about overseas guitars, or as people like to call them, Chinese junk. I've started my career with overseas guitars because I couldn't afford American-made guitars. Unfortunately, we live in a place where we charge so much for American-made stuff that a lot of our Americans can't afford it, and that really sucks. And if you don't believe me, tell me what the price of gas is, because I have a really nice car that I can't afford to put gas in at this point. It's just the way it works, right? And it sucks. So if I can get a wonderful guitar, a good starting point, which, let's be honest, if you're a guitar player, it doesn't matter what you buy and what you spend. It's never a guitar that you're good with right off the bat. It's a starting point. It's always a starting point. What this is an extension of me, right? It's my heart and soul. It has to be right. It has to feel right. It has to play right. It has to have the strings that I like on it. It has to have the shape that I like, the hardware I like, the color I like. It's an example of what I am at that moment, or it's an example of what I want to be at that moment, right? It's not just a guitar. If you're a legitimate guitar player, then you know it's not just a guitar. They never are. So if I can get that good starting point for 1/8 of the price, I'm going to do it. And I can tell you the manufacturing processes are so much different than they were in the late 80s and 90s today. The manufacturing processes are pretty much the same as what we're doing here, because I'm getting guitars that have perfect paint, perfect binding, pretty much perfect everything on them. The frets, I can tell you, this is the one we got for the workhorse project guitar project, and the frets are flawless. There's no high frets. The fret ends are absolutely perfect. That didn't ever happen until, I don't know, probably the last 5 or 6 years. I very rarely get one of these that needs fretwork anymore. I used to get them and they'd need all kinds of work. They'd need fretwork. The fret ends would be horrible. You'd have high frets. You'd have to level frets. You'd have loose hardware. Electronics would suck. Not the case anymore. There's a couple things that you'll find out as we go through this one that are still a thing, and they seem to be still a thing on every one that I get. And I don't know if it's a difference between that society and our society or why it is, but it's a definite thing, and it's the same thing on all the guitars. And we'll talk about that in the videos, but it's a very fixable thing by anybody, and it's something that still makes these guitars incredibly valuable. So before you start poo-pooing the overseas guitars, I am begging you, when this is done, to come try one with an open mind. Don't come on with your gear snob attitude, as in, this is going to suck. Let me put my hands on it so I can then tell you how much it sucks. Come try it with an open mind, because it's a guitar that will our company was started to keep people in music. This is a guitar that will keep somebody in music because they'll get what they want, they get to choose what they want, and they get to do it at a price that they can afford, which will keep them playing. It'll be a guitar that you won't want to put down. It'll be a guitar that you'll wake up in the morning and see it and be like, I can't wait to get off work to play that. And that didn't used to be the case, but now it is. So keep that in mind. That's my thoughts on these. That's where I stand. That's where our company stands on it. I don't become a brand snob. I don't become a gear snob because I remember where I was when I decided I wanted to play guitar. I remember looking at the stuff I couldn't afford and thinking to myself, I'm never going to be that guy that has to have that one thing and has to be that one brand. I just wanted something to look like it because I wanted that style. I wanted the style that fit what I wanted to do because that was me. That was my heart and soul. That was my look, my style, and I needed that in a guitar in order for it to make me want to play more. And ultimately, that's what we do as a company, is we make you want to play more. I give you back a guitar that makes you want to play more. And if you don't believe me, ask any of our customers. That's our end goal. So that's where we stand. It took me a long time to get this stupid video. If you want any of my other thoughts on these, ask me in person and we'll have a 3-hour conversation. My goal here isn't to piss anybody off or offend anybody. Our goal, Rosie and I, is never to offend anybody. Never to make anybody angry, never to intentionally go after anybody or piss anybody off. I always say I am a very laid-back person. I didn't used to be, but I am now. And I can tolerate and put up with a lot. Until you start sending me messages or spewing out bullshit when you obviously have no idea what you're talking about. Watch the videos. If you don't agree with it, fine. Everybody has the right to have their opinion. I don't need to hear it because you're not going to change my opinion. Nobody changes my opinion. You should be married to me. You should hear what Rosie says. Nobody changes my opinion. Nobody tells me what to do. I do what I want when I want. That's kind of the way I live my life. So if you think you're going to send me something or yell at me or call me names and it's going to change anything in my life, you are completely wrong. So just keep your nastiness to yourself because we don't need it. None of my clients need it. None of the people watching our educational type videos to try to learn something need it. So enjoy it. Try to take something from it because that's all we're trying to give you. Appreciate you guys and keep your eyes on the Workhorse build. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Talk to you later.